Hey guys, in today's video, we're going to be seeing if Gojo was in One Piece, could he beat Law? Gojo and Law have a lot of similarities, both are hacks-based characters, and both aura form like crazy. But to find out who would win in a fight between the two, we first have to scale both of them. We will start with Law first, then finish off with Gojo. In terms of abilities, Law has the Opi Opi no Mi, which gives him a wide range of power. Law can create and expand a room, which is an intangible space, and he could do almost anything in his room. He could cut or amputate anything or anyone instantly with a swing of his sword without even touching them. He could also lift and levitate anything or anyone he cuts. He technically can fly if he just stands on a rock that he levitated, and his room can stretch for miles as it covered an entire mountain range in Punk Hazard. He also can electrocute his enemies and give them gamma radiation with his gamma knife, which bypasses anyone's skin and can cut them internally. Law also has the ability to switch people's souls out, as he did with the Straw Hats in Punk Hazard, and he could teleport himself and anyone/anything in his room. Law also has the ability to scan people with X-ray vision, and he could cut people at a molecular level as shown in Punk Hazard with the giant kids. Law could do all of that, and I haven't even mentioned his awakening. With Law's awakening, he applies his room to his sword, turning his sword intangible with K-Room. Law's sword then could phase through people and objects, and Law can extend his sword dozens of miles at will. He also could send out powerful shockwaves from his sword, which damages his enemies inside, and is powerful enough to create this massive hole that stretched for miles until it reached a magma pit. Law can also remove intangible things like sound from his room, and he could create an invisible barrier with his ability. In addition to Law's Devil Fruit, Law also has two forms of Haki. He has Basic Observation Haki and Basic Armament Haki. With Observation Haki, Law can sense and predict incoming enemies' attacks, and with Armament Haki, Law can strengthen any part of his body with an invisible coating. Law's Haki did improve after Wano, as he can now use Haki to negate Doc Q's Devil Fruit, which turned him into a girl. In terms of power, Law should be multi-continental plus to moon level. He and Kid took down Big Mom back in Wano, and he managed to clash and fight Blackbeard and his crew for a while before he lost. Law could also cut an entire mountain range back in Punk Hazard, and cut another mountain that Jesus Burgess threw at him, and created this massive hole, which is almost the size of Onigashima. Let me say that again. This hole is almost the size of an island going through miles of bedrocks, and he created it in seconds. I haven't found any calculations for this feat yet, but I am positive that it is at least multi-continental on the low end. In terms of speed, Law should be faster than light to faster than light plus. He reacted to, cut, and redirected meteors like it was nothing. He also kept up with Doflamingo back in Dressrosa, and in Wano, he could keep up and react to Big Mom and Kaido's attacks. Plus, he could teleport inside his room, and any cuts he makes happen instantly, so his combat speed scales much higher. Now with Law scaling out of the way, let's get on with Gojo's scaling. In terms of abilities, Gojo has a wide array of abilities. Gojo can levitate and fly. He could also teleport by compressing 2 points in space, and with his curse techniques, he gains a wide array of abilities. Gojo has his curse technique Blue, which is positive energy that attracts things. This allows him to pull in and crush anything that comes in contact with it, and he could change the direction of his attack mid-swing. And with his curse technique Red, he could repel anything that comes in contact with it to shoot out a powerful destructive orb of negative energy. Now, when Gojo combines these two techniques, he makes Hollow Purple, which has 0 mass. It effectively disintegrates anything at an atomic level, and he could shoot it out from his hand, or he could let it go off like a bomb. Gojo's Hollow Purple was powerful enough to level a large portion of a city in seconds. In addition to that, Gojo could heal from attacks, but he could die if he is hit with too many powerful attacks or attacks that kill him instantly. Also, Gojo can reinforce his body with cursed energy to stop attacks from doing more damage. Oh, and Gojo also has the ability to use Black Flash, which is him outputting his cursed energy in a fraction of a second. Gojo also has the 6 eyes, which was a special trait he was born with and got from his clan. It allows Gojo to perceive his environment much better and let him see the flow of cursed energy so he could have better control over it. With these eyes, he can manage his cursed energy consumption much better, and this allows him to see his surroundings even if he is blindfolded. Now, the two most powerful abilities he has that really allow him to be in these cross versus battles are his domain expansion and his limitless. Gojo's domain expansion Unlimited Void fills the user's mind with an infinite amount of information, turning them brain dead. When Gojo activates it, it becomes a sure hit attack if within range. Gojo's domain expansion also provides him a boost in stats, and for his limitless, he creates an invisible barrier with math. Gojo divides the space between him and his enemies in half, and keeps doing that an infinite amount of times so the person or object doesn't reach him. Gojo controls the space at an atomic level, and since he has the 6 eyes, he can have this ability activated all the time. Gojo can also allow certain objects in while keeping other objects out. In terms of power, Gojo should range from city level to at most island level. The biggest showcase of power for Gojo is his Hollow Purple, which destroyed a large portion of the city, but he does scale much higher than that. Gojo was going blow for blow with Sukuna, who is the strongest person in JJK. And if we give JJK characters the benefit of the doubt and say their creation domains equals their power, then we could scale them to island level with Dagon's domain. Now, in terms of speed, the JJK verse has been very inconsistent and all over the place, with Maki being Mach 3, the piercing blood technique being faster than sound, and Sukuna dodging EMP waves to the face. But to give the JJK verse the benefit of the doubt, I say they should be lightning timers or massively hypersonic. We have seen multiple characters react to and dodge lightning based attacks, so it's safe to assume that they're in that ballpark of speed. And since Gojo is the strongest sorcerer in the verse, then he should also be in that range of speed, if not a bit faster. Okay, now with both Law and Gojo scaling out of the way, I think there's a clear winner here. While Gojo might have more hacks abilities than Law, Law overall is more stronger than Gojo. Law's abilities counter a lot of Gojo's abilities, and in terms of speed and power, he is much stronger and much faster than Gojo. In this battle, I see many ways of Law winning, from him just cutting Gojo to bits with cuts that happen instantly in his room, to even Law switching Gojo's soul with a frog or something. The only way I see Gojo winning is if he lands a direct hit on Law with his Hollow Purple, or somehow hits Law with his domain expansion, which the user must have cursed energy to do. I just don't see that happening since Law is much faster than Gojo, and he can teleport not only himself but also Gojo within his room. And since the power gap is so wide, it will take just one powerful attack from Law to kill Gojo. Gojo can regenerate, but only for a certain amount of times if the damage isn't fatal. He will still die if a fatal attack lands on him, as we've seen in his fight with Sukuna. Plus, Law's attack don't allow for regeneration since he can move any body parts he cuts and attach them to other people or objects. And it is totally in character for Law to instantly create a room, cut his enemy, attach them to a wall, and call it a day. So the victory goes to Law. If you guys like this video, like and subscribe, and let me know your opinions in the comment section below, and I'm out of here. Peace.